Welcome back to Speak Up Queen, the podcast where we empower, uplift, and celebrate women who have reclaimed their voices to inspire others. Today, we are welcoming Danielle Young. Danielle is a master certified life coach and trauma informed yoga teacher with over 15 years of experience helping women heal from domestic abuse and reclaim their lives. A survivor of domestic abuse, she blends personal resilience with professional expertise to guide clients on transformative journeys from surviving to thriving. As the founder of Inspired Action Wellness, Danielle specializes in trauma recovery and authenticity, offering compassionate coaching that empowers women to break free from limiting beliefs. Through social media, podcast appearances, and motivational speaking, she inspires women to reclaim their power, reimagine their futures, and live authentically. So let's welcome Danielle to Speak Up Queen.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Danielle, what was the most challenging, limiting belief you had to overcome, and how did breaking free from it help you reclaim your voice?
The biggest one that I had for sure was I am worthless, that I didn't mean anything. And it is still something that creeps in, you know, even to this day, and I still have to work through it. But I realized, no, my life is valuable. I have worth. I'm smart, I'm kind, I'm exactly who I am now that I needed back then. And that makes me super proud. And I'm a good mom just because I've gone through this journey and I've really leaned in to bettering myself for my kids and myself, but my kids mostly.
Um, can you share a moment when someone's words or actions made you feel small and how you found the strength to rise above it?
Oh, I have so many examples of this. I was bullied a lot as a kid. Um, I was awkward and really tall and really smart. And, it wasn't necessarily seen as popular so I got made fun of quite a bit and bullied. Um, I would say the first one that sticks out in my mind is after had after I left my abuser and I, thought I'll start dating again. I put myself out there and I ended up messaging back and forth with someone that I went to high school with. He was a senior, I was a freshman, and I didn't, I thought he was cute and I thought, oh, this is interesting. He's messaging me. Oh, all right. And we started talking and we were asking each other questions. I was like, yeah, we went to high school together. And he's like, oh, we did? Well, send me a picture. So I did. And he wrote back to me. He messaged me back and said, oh, yeah, I remember you. I can't believe that someone would actually sleep with you. And I'm like, wow, okay. And going through what I went through with the abuse and now just when I thought, okay, I'm getting better, I'm healing, I can do this, smacked me right back down. And I went into kind of a hole. I went into a depression. I thought, wow, I really am ugly and worthless, and there's no hope that I will ever find anyone again. And I really spiraled downward very quickly after that.
I don't know about you, but sometimes we are learning tools to cope. We are learning all of these things, and then we are. I know it all. If something comes up, I will know exactly what to do. But then sometimes life is testing us, and I feel like that's the time when we ask for strength because we ask for courage, we ask for strength, but then we we've got these things, but we don't know how to use it because it's testing us to say, but you've learned about affirmations or you've learned about boundaries. It's now testing you. But
Right.
the thing for us is we are human. We
Hmm.
are not
Yeah.
perfect, and healing is really messy. No matter how
Hmm.
many times we get up, we also get knocked down. And sometimes we
Yeah.
have to stay there for a while in that hole. But like I said to one lady this morning, sometimes when we are on that hole, or yeah, I don't know my Afrikaans brain is trying to take over my English brain now. So I'm like, stay in your lane. No,
It's
not
okay.
now. um, we are on our knees, it's dark, this is a storm. And sometimes it's just needing, then we see that, I don't know about you, but I hate dusting. Like, I
Yes. Yeah.
especially when you are down on your knees and you have to go in and you have to dust all of that. I feel like sometimes that's when we need to say, shoo, sit back for a moment. And sometimes what happens to us is like just to stay like putting us back and just say, just breathe,
Yeah.
take in. You do need some more healing because it's a journey. It's not like a quick fix and say, oh, okay, I've done that, tick, 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 and now I am healed and nothing is wrong with me. But it's like that
Right.
moments when we are down on our butt, crying in the storm. I think that's where the most lessons we are learning and just getting
Yeah.
up back. I'm so proud of you for getting back out there, getting back up is is the most amazing part of this healing journey is to never give up, to just take one step at a time, embrace the storms. If it comes and we have to do some cleaning, if that is getting in a better environment, getting out of a relationship, or I don't know, anyway, get a new job because we've been abused at job, or um, it's just that we need some cleaning and healing done when we are in that dump. Um,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
just amazing for stepping up, getting back up, fixing your crown, and just moving forward. Because you could have stayed stuck in that cycle. You could have stayed stuck there, and it could have stopped you for the rest of your life. But
Yeah.
here you are, inspiring other women, being a survival guide for other women. And that's the amazing part of Speak Up Queen. We have been sent to break generational curses. We have been sent to inspire and uplift each other. So yeah, just thank you for not giving up and for being here. And you're just amazing. I love your story.
Thank you. Yeah, it didn't come to me right away that it was a learning lesson, and it did stick with me for years after that. And I finally got to a point where I just thought, no, that was his opinion of me, and he was an idiot. And it was a learning lesson. I feel like it was just sort of like breaking more of that piece of me that just needed to go. It was like, okay, we're going to hit you now with all of this so you can heal it, work on it, let it go, and then move forward. So, yeah, healing has definitely, and I tell everybody this, healing is not linear. You will have good days, bad days, it's ups and downs. And, there's days you're going to feel like quitting. And then there's days where you're like, man, I feel really good. I could keep doing this. So you just have to keep moving forward and look back.
And something that I had learned over the last 4 weeks while interviewing is that one part of my healing journey is my anger. I've got
Mhm.
when I feel overwhelmed and burnout, I am getting angry and I shout and I scream because and then one of the speakers said, but that's part of your healing. That's an inner child of yours that still needs healing. And sometimes we bleed on people that didn't cut us. And I was
Mhm.
really feeling guilty for feeling angry at the people that have abused me, that have bullied me. I was like, but I'm this positive, energetic bunny, and I don't want to feel angry. I don't want to feel this emotion. But what I realized on episode 40 um, was that I need that part of me needs to be. I mean, it took me 5 years to become what I am, where I am today to create a safe space. But it's
Yeah.
also about now I thought, oh, my hair. I thought that I healed every part of me, but then
Mhm.
realizing and speaking to other women and hearing your stories, I realized this week that, oh, it's getting worse. The anger, the overwhelm, it's getting really worse. And it was a shock that my husband said, whoa, you are just angry. And I'm like, but I'm not angry. I'm really not angry. And he was like, but you don't
Yeah.
show it. But with him being my safety resource, he's actually my punching bag because I am taking out everything on him. And
Yeah.
that's when I realized there's a huge difference between a safety resource and the punching bag and bleeding on people that hasn't got us. So I have anger, Taming,
Yeah.
A Powerful Emotion by Gary Chapman. So I am recognize the difference between bad and good anger. And I'm really gonna journal about this for the next years because or months because there's no timeline on healing. Um,
Right. Yeah. It's an everyday thing.
it's an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, the
but
thing with anger too is the underlying emotion of anger is fear. So sometimes, we don't recognize that. We don't recognize that, yeah, we're outwardly angry at something, but inwardly it's like we have this innate fear of something, depending on what you're directing your anger towards and what's triggering that for you. I find that really interesting that there's so many latent triggers, but it's things that we know we need to work on. It's our reminder, like, hey, it like knocks. It's like, okay, I'm still here. Like, okay, you work on me. you know, I'm not going to heal unless you work on me.
and I think that's as coaches, we need to show that we don't know it all. We are not
Yeah.
perfect. We are on this journey together. We are just survival guides. That's all we are. We are survival guides and tools. Um,
Yeah.
I don't want to say tools. I wanted to say servants to help other women and to
Yeah.
inspire. Daniel, what safety resources, spaces, or tools have been most impactful for your healing journey?
Well, it first started off yoga. Yoga was my first love. That was the first thing that I ever did that brought me back into my body. It brought me back into just breathing and settling in and the sense of peace. After that, it became massage. So I ended up getting a massage therapy license and started working with domestic abuse victims as well, with massage, getting them back into their bodies. And after that, I have self-inquiry, meditation, yoga nidra. Um, I just recently, within the last year or so, took up transcendental meditation, which is life-changing. It goes so much, it's so much deeper than regular, just that sitting in quiet for 10 minutes. I can't even describe it. It's on a whole other playing field, really. And life coaching. Those are really the things that have gotten me. I tried traditional therapy. It wasn't for me. I need more action steps and okay, I know where I've been. Now I need to figure out where I want to go. And I feel like that was the catalyst that I needed. And that's kind of what yoga gave me in the beginning was, okay, this is where I am. And it was just that daily practice of, okay, I'm making these subtle steps and I'm noticing these subtle shifts and I really kind of like it. And that got me moving. And I thought, you know what? I like this. I can do this. This is something that I can totally stick to. So really, I find that it doesn't matter what you do, if you enjoy doing it and it helps you, go for it. You don't have to go the traditional route. I sure didn't. I never have.
Hmm. I tried the tradition. route, and they just left me traumatized and re-triggered, writing everything down that had happened to me step by step in details in a quiet room alone, typing those things out. And I didn't know how to calm my own nervous system. I had to relive it over and over again, go back and never live
Yeah.
life again. I will. No, um,
Yeah.
it's not
That
good.
happens with a lot of people.
It was not a good experience for me. And I was still young. I mean, I was just 18, 17 years old when that happened while I was,
Mm,
and it was, and that's why I've created a safe space and giving resources out, because there is so many resources out there, but we didn't know 17 years ago. I didn't know breath work, tapping, meditation, whole telling yourself you're safe, all of this grounding. I didn't know about these things. And
right.
so many women out there might not even know that. Just take a breath, just pause for a moment, just take a
Hmm.
breath and just take
Yeah.
and calm your nervous system. Find the right people in your life that's going to inspire you. Find your communities, because we are different human beings. The mission is still the same. We're still wanting to be survival guides and empower other women, and
Yeah.
help other people. But we are not everyone is our community, and that's the biggest thing and the best part of showing up authentically. The right people will find your light, and you really do attract the people that needs to see and hear your story.
Yeah.
um
Absolutely.
mm.
Yeah. I believe that.
What was the first step you took to move from feeling silence to finding your voice, and how did that step change your life?
Oh, so it was about 3 years ago. I had just gone through, no, this was, oh gosh, no, it's been longer than that. This was 5 years, almost 6 years ago now, when I finished my yoga teacher training. I wanted to teach yoga, and I wanted to teach it to women who felt uncomfortable in their bodies. And I kept hitting these roadblocks when I would go to put things on the internet, when I would go to put things on social media. I kept hitting this block, and I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, why can't I do this? Why is this so hard for me? I know what I'm doing. And I I figured out, I went through a self-inquiry session and figured out that I was still feeling like I had to hide from my abuser. And we're talking, this was 20 years later. And I thought, okay, yeah, because I had the subconscious fear that he would find me again. I moved across the country and started living a whole new life. And I had this fear that he was just going to show up on my doorstep one day and finish what he started. And then one self inquiry session, and I let that go. I thought, this is the stupidest thing that I could ever think. He's not coming for me. I'm holding on to this. I'm not living my life. I'm not doing the things that I want to do to help other women. Let it go. And I did. So that was the first moment where I thought, I have a voice. I'm going to use it. And anybody who doesn't want to listen to me can just turn the volume down,
Yes.
scroll past me. I am not living my life for anyone else's comfort anymore. And I am sure not going to live in fear anymore.
Definitely, definitely. And it's sometimes hard putting yourself out there. Um,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially since I had been bullied so much.
Yes.
I did not have a good vision of my own body, and I thought, I'm an imposter. I'm trying to teach body positivity when I don't even have my own body positivity. So really, it was that one session where I just thought, okay, nope, we're done. We're done with this narrative. We're going to move on. We're going to put one foot in front of the other. I'm going to fail forward. And
And
I did.
and don't we seek failure? I don't know about you, but when I start something, I'm like, come bring it on. What's gonna fail? what email can't be sent, what technology software needs
Yeah.
upgrade. And I'm like, okay, let's just get it over with so that I can move forward.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like, okay, bring it on. Bring failure, bring it on. Because there is no
Yeah.
failure. It's actually just feedback. Um,
Right. It's just learning,
it's
you
just
know?
learning, and we can't
Yeah.
learn if we don't make mistakes. Like I say to my
Right.
son, if you don't make mistakes, how are we supposed to teach you? How are we supposed to let you learn
Right.
from your mistakes? And I mean, for many years we have been. If you have made a mistake, you have been punished for making a mistake. It was not about
Right.
learning; it was punishment if you made a
Right.
mistake. So
Yeah.
it's just breaking generational curses. That's the word.
It is. Yeah. I mean, think of a toddler when they're learning how to walk and they fall down. Do they stay down? No, they get back up and, my son like giggled. And I thought that's it. That's it right there. When you fall down, laugh and then get back up. You know, we just have to find little ways to learn and move forward.
And have fun while we are doing.
Yeah.
Because as adults, I don't know about you, but I lost that part of me of being the fun, quirky, quirky girl who's just childish, just want to be herself. We lose
Yeah.
these things, and now, and sometimes I had to remind myself because, oh, you're 35 years old, you're 35 years old, that's that 30. You can't be dancing in front of on a Facebook Live, you can't be dancing or things like that. And I was like, who cares? My
Right.
son is doing it with me. I am showing him to be himself, even though the first few videos it was like, but I did it anyway. And I was like, okay, let's
Yeah.
just go forward. And it's just amazing that we still move forward, even if it's
Yeah.
sometimes scary.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything in life is learning. You cannot get through this life without learning. It's all it is.
What's one powerful lesson you've learned about self-worth? And how do you carry it with you as you continue to grow and inspire others?
I do not let anyone else define my self-worth anymore. I do not look for external validation anymore. Everything about me is me. I'm the one that knows me best. Anyone else's opinion of me is none of my business. My self-worth is not reliant on anyone else's opinions or thoughts of me.
I love it.
I carry that forward every single day. You know, I and I do teach my kids this too. You know, do not let anyone dim your light. They don't matter.
Yep.
And that is such a message that everyone I think needs to hear. We walk around with so much weight. It's just constant. We're constantly being bombarded with negativity, and it's hard to not compare ourselves. It's hard to look at other people and not have some jealousy or envy. And really in those moments for me, I'm like, okay, if I'm feeling this towards something, then I know there's something with me in my life I need to fix. It's not them dictating me, it's me dictating me. And I think that's so valuable. And if anybody gets one message out of what anything that I'm saying today, let it be that. Do not let anyone else define your self-worth, because you are worth so much more than someone else's opinion.
100%. Like, seriously, that is the best. If you could tell your 17-year-old self one thing, what would it be and why?
My 17-year-old self, I would say to her, just that you are worth so much more than you're giving yourself credit for. You have a life waiting for you that is so much more than you could ever imagine. And I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the woman you're going to become. I'm proud of your resilience and just keep going. That's what I would tell her.
She will be proud of you because you're
Yeah.
doing, you are doing it.
Yeah.
How do you stay grounded when challenges come up now compared to before?
Oh, yeah. Before I was a mess. I was not because my nervous system was it was so out of whack. But now I have a meditation practice. That has probably been the biggest part of my grounding is my meditation. It is non-negotiable every morning, every evening. And even during the day when something comes up, I put my hand on my heart and I'm like, it's okay. You know, you're safe. It's okay. You know, and there are days where that happens more than others, you know. Um, but just having that routine and knowing that I have that within me and that I don't need something external, that I can just turn inward and just breathe, reset, reboot, and come to life again.
How do you define thriving today, and what mindset shifts or practices help you embrace that definition?
Thriving for me today looks like not waking up with debilitating anxiety, not having panic attacks that would land me in the floor of my closet in a fetal position, gasping for breath and feeling my heart like my heart was going to just beat out of my chest. It looks like someone who is able to control their nervous system. I am in the midst of the chaos that is in my life right now. I am like, okay, this and this too shall pass. You know, it's the confidence. Thriving for me is the confidence that I have in my ability to regulate myself, to turn inward, and to take the tools that I've learned and to use those in those situations where I just feel completely out of control. And the things that helped me the most are meditation. I will pull out my yoga mat and just go into child's pose, or I'll, put my legs up the wall, or I'll even lay at the end of my bed and just put my legs over my bed. Um, and then breathing. And then I do some somatic techniques for my nervous system and self-inquiry. I'll listen to binaural beats. Those have been really helpful. I'll listen to brainwave things. I'll listen to a yoga nidra. YouTube's been great. I'll listen to like affirmations. If I'm starting to really spin out and like, oh God, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I haven't like I'll turn on YouTube and start listening to affirmations. And it's like, okay, yep, snap out of it. Game changer. Yeah, I can do this. You've been through way worse. You can do it. So really those have been the biggest things for me so far. You know, I'm still taking it all in and something else might come up.
The last question. What made you decide to be featured on Speak Up Queen, and how does it feel knowing that there's a safe space for women to share their stories and inspire others?
You know what? I liked your message. It is really important that women know that they have a safe space, and especially today. I think women are so quick to be put into this box and defined, very quickly defined of how we should be, what we should be doing. And I liked your message that nope, this is a safe space. You can come, you're you, and that's how it should be. I wholeheartedly embrace that, believe that, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Well, Daniel, thank you so much for sharing your incredible journey with us today. Your story is a testament to the strength, resilience, and courage it takes to not only heal but to thrive. So, to everyone listening, remember that your voice matters, your story matters, and together we can inspire change. If today's episode touched your heart, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, Queens, keep speaking up and stepping into your power.